Vietnamese employees are very loyal, specifically the women, to their employer. I'm not here to think. I'm here to work and do what you want me to do. I discovered quite quickly that they can be very stubborn.
Thank you, Ambassador, for accepting, having the time for us to be here today to, share some of this information and some experience, some of your insight about workplaces in Vietnam. You should know that this is a program for women, the program that women in a workplace to support women who need help, who need support. So basically the platform getting more information exchange about how to cooperate at work. And we believe that women in any case would be those, people who need more support than ever in the context of Vietnam. So as you've been working in Vietnam for a couple of years, will you tell us about your experience about working in the working environment in Vietnam, and especially the interaction with the Vietnamese workforces? Mm-hmm. In this case, is about your employees and your colleagues.
As you said, I'm here in Vietnam since 3 years and have been ambassadors in Hanoi for 3 years. Most of my staff is Vietnamese employees, women, so local staff. And it's true that since 3 years I learned a lot because diplomats are going from one country to another, and each time you have to learn about a new work culture. Yes. And this time I was very surprised to see that there is really some pattern in the Vietnamese employees, maybe specifically women, I don't know, because I have mostly women at the embassy. But I can share maybe some little experience that I had. And I had to build up really a sort of new strategy. I'm not a specialist in personnel, but it was very interesting experience.
And maybe, not just skill.
No, exactly. It's sort of strategy. I discussed with my colleagues, expats also, how to deal with this kind, and the rest was my instinct. But what I can say and what I can share is the fact that there are some qualities in the Vietnamese people which are quite important. It's, for instance, the loyalty. Vietnamese employees are very loyal, specifically the women, to their employer. They're also very joyful. It's really nice to work every day because they have a very good character, and it's quite nice. Also, sense of humor, also very delicate. It's really nice as a woman to work with Vietnamese women. On the other hand, I discovered quite quickly that they can be very stubborn. They can be really stubborn. And also that probably because of their education, there is very often a lack of taking responsibilities or a lack of creativity. So it means that Vietnamese workforce would like to have a very structured environment. Means that they need and they expect from the boss, so from me at the embassy, that I will give very clear instructions. So at a certain moment there was some clash. Because I was telling them, well, do it the way the way you think, and they told me, but I'm not here to think. I'm here to work and do what you want me to do. So there was really a sort of cultural gap. Also, something really probably typical of the Vietnamese is the Confucianism culture. So means that, a younger employee cannot give an instruction to another one. Because I was saying, this is a teamwork. So please share with or ask your colleague to do it, or it was impossible, you know. She said, no, I'm younger than she is, and so I cannot give her an instruction. I said, no, but come on, I cannot spend all my time, you know, going to each of you and always say, you have to do this and you have to do impossible. So then after 6 months or 9 months, I thought I have to develop some, you know, some new strategy, some way to, now I know clearly what is the problem, what are the good things and what are the bad.
But you know for exactly each one individual, right?
And then exactly, that's what I developed as a strategy. I thought, okay, now I have to discuss B2B. So I called each of them in my office and I had a very long talk. And I told them, you know, we cannot continue like that. What I'm expecting is beyond only instructions. So I would like you to be motivated to do your work as autonomous. And this kind of autonomy was a word that they didn't know could happen, you know, or could exist. And they said, but I cannot be autonomous because, again, you know. So I said, please, just try. And we will see in 2 months, in 3 months, how you develop. Because the most important in your work is the routine. When you do something repeatedly, all the time the same, it's very boring. After, you know, these people are in the embassy very often for 10, 15, sometimes 20 years. So please try to find something interesting in your work, and maybe you can add a value to your work.
But did they admit that it's boring?
No,
they realize that it's
well,
boring?
sometimes, yes. Sometimes they said, yes, you know, this and that. I do it since 15 years, and I know it by heart, and I found it a little bit boring. So I try to make that they find themselves something more creative to do, and also to take responsibilities. This is very important. And after 1.5 years, we try to see how it had evaluated. And my surprise was that they all told me how happy they are because of this new situation where they are more autonomous and at the same time more equal to each other. So there was no battle between, you know, all of them saying, I'm discriminated, I have more work than the other one.
Not unhealthy.
And yeah, exactly. So it was, and progressively there was more and more the feeling that they are a team. The team of the embassy, and that the most important for us all is that we have the same target. Same target is to put Belgium on the map of Vietnam and to develop, you know, the best relationship. And that they understood. Maybe never before there was a sort of assessment at the beginning that there is a target, a common target. And so it was, now it's really a pleasure because, of course, they refer to me all the time because there must be a boss and I'm the boss. So, but they look like they have their autonomy and that they can find a pleasure in their work.
Wow.
So I'm happy.
Yeah, and we are very impressed because we hear, I believe in an embassy or in a company or in a restaurant or anywhere, considering a workplace with environment, always have different challenges.
That in any kind of management, individuals are not, you know, a mass. If you have 100 employees, or if you have 12, or if you have 2, the personal relationship and the personal shaping of their task is also very important.